What if the person you most need to forgive isn't the one who hurt you, but the one who still lives in your unconscious mind? And what if healing isn't about fixing your relationship with your actual mother, but about redefining your relationship with the image of her that still holds power over you? This is the unsettling path Carl Jung pointed toward, a journey not of blame, but of awakening, because many of us are still haunted by a mother we no longer live with. Jung called this the mother complex. It's not about your real mother. It's about the emotional imprint she left behind, one that can shape how you respond to love, criticism, failure, and even success. Maybe your mother was present, but her love felt conditional. Maybe she gave everything, but expected too much in return. Maybe she was drowning in her own pain and there was no room for yours. Whatever the form, these patterns persist. You may find yourself feeling unworthy unless you're achieving. You may fear rejection so deeply that love feels dangerous. Or you may crave approval from people who never seem to give it. These are not personality flaws. They're survival responses, habits wired into your nervous system when you were too young to understand what was happening. And now, you're not battling your mother. You're battling a voice inside you that sounds like hers. One that says, you're only lovable if you're perfect. One that whispers, don't take up too much space. This is the first step to freedom, recognizing that this voice lives inside you, but it is not you. And once you see that, you can begin to challenge it, because your story didn't end in childhood. In fact, it's just beginning. Here's the deeper truth that many avoid. The real force holding you back isn't your mother. It's the mother archetype that's been living rent-free in your psyche for years. According to Jungian psychology, archetypes are not people. They are universal patterns, blueprints of emotion and behavior that play out through our lives. And the mother archetype is among the most powerful. When integrated, she is the source of warmth, guidance, and comfort. But when distorted or left unexamined, she becomes a shadow, controlling, judgmental, abandoning. And this shadow doesn't just whisper, it commands. You must earn love. You must put others first. You must not want too much. Sound familiar? This internal mother is often more critical than your real mother ever was, because she's built from 1,000 unmet needs, unspoken rules, and childhood interpretations. She is the one who tells you to shrink, to stay safe, to be the good girl or good boy, even if it kills your joy. And here's where it gets more complicated. You carry her into your adult relationships. You expect your partner to read your mind, to nurture you endlessly, to fix what your mother never could. But no partner can do that. No friend, no boss, no mentor. And so the pattern repeats. You feel unseen, unsupported, misunderstood, not because they failed you, but because you were never supposed to cast them in a role they didn't audition for. The pain you feel is real, but its root lies deeper than your present. Healing begins when you disidentify from the archetype. That means noticing when your actions are being driven by that inner mother, when you're not actually responding to life but reacting from a child's wound. Start small. Pause when you feel triggered. Ask, is this me or the part of me still trying to earn love from someone who couldn't give it? This is the beginning of psychological maturity. Not the erasure of the past, but the reclaiming of your power in the present. Because only when you see the story you've been living can you choose to write a new one. And that choice, that's where your freedom lives. Just when you think you're ready to heal, when you begin stepping into new beliefs, new relationships, a new sense of self, something invisible pulls you back. Not because you're weak, but because somewhere deep inside, you still feel loyal to the suffering that raised you. Bert Hellinger called this invisible loyalty. It's an unconscious bond to your parents' emotional wounds, especially your mother's. A belief that if you surpass her, you betray her. If you succeed where she struggled, you abandon her. If you find joy while she remained in sorrow, you must dim your light to honor her darkness. This loyalty isn't rational, it's inherited. And it manifests in self-sabotage so subtle you may not even see it. You get close to love, and then withdraw. You reach the edge of success and suddenly procrastinate. You feel happiness and then guilt. Because something inside whispers, don't go farther than she did. Don't become someone she wouldn't recognize. You're not doing this consciously. You're carrying out a silent oath that began in childhood. I'll carry your pain so you don't have to. But here's the truth. Carrying your mother's pain does not heal her. It only hurts you. And it keeps you stuck in a role you were never meant to play. So, how do you break the oath? By giving yourself what your mother couldn't. By reparenting your inner child not with pity, but with power. When fear arises, speak gently but truthfully. When guilt appears, question it. When shame knocks, greet it with compassion, not compliance. And above all, give yourself permission to rise, to expand, to take up space your mother was never allowed to. This is not betrayal. It is evolution. And it is the most loving thing you can do for her legacy. Because you're not rejecting her. You're fulfilling what she couldn't. The child in you may always long for her to change, but the adult in you knows it's time to change yourself. That's where the chain breaks. That's where the real healing begins. Healing the mother wound doesn't mean rewriting her past. It means reclaiming your future. It means refusing to let the emotional script she handed you dictate the rest of your life. You may never receive the apology you deserved. You may never be held the way you once longed to be. But that's not the end of your story. The real transformation happens when you stop waiting for her to show up differently and start showing up differently for yourself. You become the mother your inner child needed. That looks like listening to yourself without judgment, giving yourself rest without guilt, celebrating yourself without waiting for permission. It means saying yes to what fuels you and no to what drains you. It means no longer apologizing for your boundaries, your brilliance, or your boldness. And when that old inner voice rises again, the one that tells you you're too much or not enough, you greet it with a wiser voice, your own. One that says, I see you. I understand why you're here, but I no longer need to obey. Because you're not living her life. You're living yours. And the more you mother yourself with strength and tenderness, the less power the past has over you. This is the essence of emotional adulthood, living from your values, not your wounds, leading from clarity, not compliance, loving from choice, not desperation. It's not dramatic. It's daily. It happens every time you pause instead of react, every time you speak up instead of shrink, every time you choose presence over perfection. These are the small revolutions that rebuild a life. And what emerges is not just healing, it's wholeness. A self no longer fragmented by longing. A heart no longer tethered to lack. A life that belongs to you. So let your adult self take the lead. Let her become the voice that guides, the presence that protects, the love that liberates. The mother you've been waiting for? She is already here. She is you.